Ma'am? Must be nice.
to call this meeting for February 24th to order. Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Here.
Ms. Poole?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Tuck? Here. Mr. Huffman?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds? Mr. Rexroyd?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Borkowski?
Here. Council minutes from our committee of the whole meeting on January 26th and a regular council meeting on February 10th have been posted and handed out. Are there any corrections or additions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Poole?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck? Yes. Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroyd?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Do we have any reports for standing or special committees tonight?
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
this Thursday at 6 o'clock, there will be a personnel committee meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Cool. Any others? We'll move on to public forum. Public forum is going to be 40 minutes in length. Each speaker will have 4 minutes. Madam Clerk, anybody signed up tonight?
I have 6 or 8, sir. The first one is Mr. Engel, Liberty Street, followed by Ms. Pritchard.
Point of order. Mr. Borkowski, can you clarify for us, I know we're supposed to have a public hearing on the agenda, this is the second reading, we're also supposed to have a public forum. And I'm just requesting clarification on which set of rules we're going by for this, for the public forum, is that, how does that work?
Ms. Tuck, this is a public forum. We will have a public hearing that correlates to ordinance item number 4 on our agenda. So this is our standard public forum. It'll be 40 minutes in length, 4 minutes for each speaker. Mr. Engel, you're up.
Thank you.
Thank you. Get this close enough here to get to, not too close. To begin, I'd like to note that what you see around you this evening is democracy in action. Speaking with you all by phone or writing to you or meeting you in district or in your offices, etc., is also important, but City Hall is a core symbol of participatory government, and citizens should be able to come here and address you during public forum on any topics they wish, without being restricted solely to matters on an agenda. I encourage you to restore open public forum this evening and to create a council forum as well, while being open to feedback about ways to improve both after the resolution vote this evening. You're seeking to amend Article 955 of the city charter this evening with language stating in part that, quote, collection, removal, and disposal of solid waste shall be performed through contractual services provided by Waste Management of West Virginia Incorporated in accordance with a contract approved by separate ordinance of council of the city of Parkersburg, January 13th, subject to approval by the Public Service Commission. Meanwhile, a referendum petition is circulating which states that pursuant to Article 8, Sections 8.101 and 8.102 of the Parkersburg City Charter, the undersigned voters of Wood County, West Virginia hereby submit to the Parkersburg City Council this petition to repeal or submit to the voters ordinance number O-1775, titled an ordinance authorizing approval of municipal waste collection agreement. It appears quite likely that this petition will receive the requisite valid signatures of at least 15% of the votes cast within the city of Parkersburg at the last municipal election, which, assuming you do not choose to repeal the ordinance number O-1775, would result in the issue of repeal of the ordinance appearing on the ballot, assuming there are no successful challenges to the issue appearing on the ballot. If there is a ballot referendum that results in voters choosing to repeal the ordinance awarding the contract to Waste Management, tonight's amendment language to Article 955 no longer really makes sense. So I question, then what? I argue that the vote to amend and reenact Article 955 should be postponed until after the deadline for collecting signatures for the petition, which is this coming, excuse me, Friday, the 27th. This would leave charter language in place for the time being, holding the city accountable for the provision of sanitation services. None of the changes you're trying to make are or must be inevitable with sanitation. We're only in this situation because of poor management, poor compensation for truly essential workers, and a lack of respect for the will of the people. So I ask you tonight to postpone the vote on the ordinance to amend Article 955 until such time as this issue plays out. And with asking that respectfully, I will yield the remainder of my time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Pritchard, followed by Mr. Layden.
Good evening. I'm like to address the issue of the public forum resolution number 2, and very much support that. And I'm really glad that modifications are being considered to allow the voice of the people to be heard. I'd also like to commend the incredible hard work under the worst weather conditions imaginable of the many, many people that went around door to door, street to street, to get these petitions signed. That's democracy in action. And whether you agree or disagree with it, you should all appreciate the engagement of our citizens in Parkersburg and all the hard work that has gone on in the last few weeks to make this possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Layden.
One of the first things that is taught in survival school is that when you are in a hole over your head, stop digging. This is an analogy about what to do when you find that you are lost. Often called the sunk cost fallacy, it's a tool to overcome the bias people have when refusing to accept that they have lost their way. In economics and sociology, it is called the escalation of commitment, and it is a pattern of decision-making in which individuals or groups continue to invest in a course of action despite mounting evidence that the decision is wrong. My grandfather was an adherent of this principle. Despite being lost many times, he refused to ask for directions. Often the result was being late or missing an event entirely. There were many arguments, and I thought if I learned how to read a map, I could prevent our becoming lost. As expected, he refused to take directions from a child. This never changed, and I was not surprised when he missed my high school graduation. Parkersburg is at a nexus tonight with the final approval of Article 955. You have been shown over the last several months that this is a poor choice for our city's future. The facts show that billing is not sustainable for a comprehensive program of reducing waste. The mayor has confirmed that there will be rate increases. The finance director confirmed that the enterprise fund was always solvent. Pending litigation demonstrates non-compliance with mandates for curbside recycling. Thursday's meeting includes a long overdue discussion on starting wages and proper compensation for staff. This confirms that the staffing issue was created in-house. The circulating petition and a strong participation rate demonstrate that this is not the will of the people. This is your chance to listen to the people you represent and do the right thing. Recognize that this has failed and start over. Set aside pride, work for a sustainable future, and for our next generation. While I am encouraged to see that there is an attempt to restore public forum, I have a serious concern. The sentence, speakers shall not make slanderous remarks. Use profanity gives me pause. The term slanderous has been previously wielded here in this chamber as a weapon. Slander, by definition, is a lie that is spoken to defame a person's character. A true statement, quote, or describing action may be unflattering, but it is not slander. Just because a person's feelings were hurt does not mean that they were slandered. Profanity is defined as language that is blasphemous or sacrilegious. In a broader sense, profanity is also often poorly used to describe cursing or foul language. Regardless of your intended censorship, the only language that a government body may prohibit is true threats, incitement to imminent lawless action, fighting words, and child pornography. This attempt at censorship is going to lead to litigation and yet another settlement that will be paid by the taxpayer. From Cohen v. California regarding government censorship in 1972, John Harlan penned, "While the particular four-letter word being litigated here is perhaps more distasteful than others in its genre, it is nevertheless often true that one man's vulgarity is another's lyric. Contrary to the individual beliefs of some, there is but one text only that is sacred in this chamber. That is the Constitution of the United States and its Bill of Rights, protecting the people from the tyranny of government." Thank you.
Next, we have Casey Petrain, followed by Cold Morning Star.
Good evening. My name is Casey Petrin, and I am knocking over the podium. I am speaking in favor of reopening public forum. We were told removing open public forum would make meetings more efficient and more manageable. Respectfully, it hasn't. Meetings aren't meaningfully shorter, and tension hasn't disappeared, and trust certainly hasn't grown. Here's the reality. Efficiency is not the same thing as exclusion. Public forum was never just a microphone, it was a pressure valve. It gave residents a structured, predictable way to be heard. And here's something I hope we can all sit with tonight. Silencing input doesn't create harmony, it creates distance. If anything, removing open public forum has pushed frustration outside of the chamber instead of allowing it to be addressed inside of it. We talk a lot about transparency. Transparency isn't just about live streams and posted agendas. Transparency is letting people speak even when it's uncomfortable. Strong leadership doesn't avoid criticism, it manages it. If the goal is a more positive relationship with the community, the answer isn't limiting access, it's better facilitation. Because at the end of the day, democracy is not efficient, it's participatory. And this room belongs to the public. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cold Morning Star, then Carrie Tallarico.
Good evening, my name is Cold Morningstar. I'm here because I care about transparency, public trust, and making sure the people of Parkersburg actually feel heard in their own city. I want to start with proposed changes to public forum, because structure is okay, but honestly, when government starts changing rules around public comment, people don't hear efficiency, they hear you're being managed. Right now, trust in institutions is already low, and the last thing we need is even the perception that voices are being limited. The strongest governments are not ones that control the microphone, they're ones confident enough to hand it to the public and ask them what's going wrong and understand how they feel. On the recycling agreement, I support environmental responsibility, but taxpayers also deserve clarity, they deserve education, and they deserve the right to know questions that they're asking. What are long-term costs and how will you guys measure success? Because good intentions don't balance budgets, results do. Regarding redevelopment and urban renewal authority, redevelopment should improve lives, not just buildings. How we are making sure local residents and small businesses benefit instead of outside interests coming in, making money and leaving. And as new budget is introduced, I encourage the council to make it accessible and understandable, because transparency should not require a finance degree. I'm not here to criticize for the sake of it, I'm here because Parkersburg has real potential and I believe in the city and I've loved it since I was younger. But trust isn't something you ask for, it's something you earn, and the people in this community want to be partners in the future of this city and not just spectators. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Tallarico. Then Mike Tennant.
Hello, I'll make it short tonight. You guys already know how I feel on the trash and recycling know how I feel about public forum. Spoken up here multiple times, emailed, written in the paper, all kinds of things. Since the beginning of starting to attend here, I've tried really hard to learn as much as I could, educate, and then cultivate education in others on the decorum and the way things are handled here. When the voices were shut down, restricted, however you want to put them, it took away their voices, and I couldn't get them back. The comments I got was, why does it matter? They don't want to hear me. They're going to do what they want to do. And it continued the divide. I'm very proud of it being back on the agenda. I think this is a great start, just start closing a divide. I would encourage each and every one of you to vote for it and start encouraging and cultivating conversations. Hard ones, pleasant ones, all the conversations. This is what we need. This is what the city needs. And this is how we're going to get the younger generation involved, is by giving them a voice. So vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike Clement, followed by Robert Duke.
My name is Mike Tennant. I'm a Parkersburg resident and a believer in the United States Constitution. I'm here to speak on item 2 about the public forum on the agenda. A quick Google search can quickly and easily show you that a person can attend a council meeting and address issues concerning the community, as long as there is no personal attacks, profanity, or political campaigning. We have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech and a freedom of press. We also have the right to express our grievance with our government. And these kind of meetings is where if I or if anyone else chooses to do so, they should be able to sign up and speak and express the issues they have in a professional manner. They shouldn't be stopped by an ordinance or a rule here in Parkersburg, West Virginia, or in any other city in the United States of America. Our Constitution is the law of the land, and anyone's feelings, ordinances, rules does not trump our constitutional rights. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight.
Thank you.
Mr. Duke?
Hello. Might you close there? My name is Robert J. Duke, and I'm here about the bikes plan. So I want to first say thank you to everybody who's helped me get the proposal to this point, including Ryan Barber and Clay with the development department, especially. So this plan I'm proposing is an automated bike rental station, kind of in the vein of like in New York City, City Bike, or in any mountain town or beach town in America. So I think having this located along the river trail would be great for tourists. For example, at the Blennerhassett Hotel, a lot of the people there will stay the night and they wish they had a bike with them, but they didn't bring one with them. Now they'll have one, or have the ability to rent one for any given period of time. So this is a very custom-built design. The bikes are unisex, so that means anybody can use them. They're step-through, single gear, good for maintenance. It's, like I said, fully automated, so the user flow is a breeze. They scan a QR code, they go through the forms and legal side, which get some input from the city on that to make sure everything's locked tight. The bike unlocks, the user can enjoy their ride. They engage with the community via an interactive map and suggestions on the web-based map that I developed, and helped with the downtown PKB. I went ahead and took a lot of the businesses that they have as parts of them, and I added them to the map so people can take their time and explore downtown. Like mentioned, this program works in other cities, and I think it would work here great. It's not like the scooter models where people leave them all over the road or they're strung out on the road. So I do think people would enjoy it. That's all I want to say. I'm going to yield my time.
Thank you.
Next we have Sue Ellen Wainwright.
Can you hear me? Hopefully, all of you have received one sheet of paper. I appreciate the efforts that's put in to bring back public forum and city council forum. These have been missed opportunities to have constructive discussions within the community. Reading proposed resolution, I have a proposed amendment that will seek fair and equitable standards for both council and public at large, paraphrasing language appearing under the proposed public forum section. And I have written and I have put it in bold for you. Please add the following sentence. While behind the dais, council members shall not make slanderous remarks to anyone in the audience or use profanity or otherwise become disruptive. Council members or other city officials will not use their official platforms to promote or oppose anyone running for public office. I think this is fair, that we have, if we have it on one side, we should have it on both sides. And I hope you will agree with me and pass it with an amendment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ray Roy, followed by William Smith.
Good evening, can everyone hear me? Thank you. My name's Raven, I'm from District 9. I have just handed the clerk a formal notice of procedural objection regarding ordinance 955. I am here to put this body on notice that you are currently in violation of West Virginia Code 811-4, and proceeding with a vote tonight would ignore specific procedural mandates required for revenue-raising ordinances. State law requires 1.0 legal advertisement and a 5-day window where the ordinance is available for public inspection. The city's legal ad for this hearing was not published until February the 18th, which is Wednesday. So by law, day one was February 19th. However, at 8:28 a.m. on February the 19th, despite the business hours being posted at the door of 8 o'clock, the clerk's office door was locked and unoccupied. A locked door is not a public inspection. Furthermore, as late Sunday, February 22nd, the city's own website was not updated with the agenda or hearing information. On February 19th, the bulletin board in this building was still displaying an agenda outdated from February 10th. Sending a selective email to a few individuals, which came out at 3:55 p.m. on the 19th, does not satisfy public requirement of the law. You cannot count days where the public was physically and digitally barred from access. And a material amendment. Additionally, the Shift to Rumpke contract is a material amendment. It fundamentally changes the financial structure and legal liability of the waste program under state law. The material change requires this process to restart with a first reading. You cannot swap a municipal program for a private corporate contract at the last minute and call it a minor update. And to the council, the calendar doesn't lie. Between an ad published on the 18th and the building closed on the 21st and the 22nd, you have at best provided 3 days of access for public review. You are missing 40% of the legally required inspection window. This isn't a clerical error, it's a denial of the public's right to participate in the legislative process. I'm demanding that you postpone this second reading. If you vote tonight, you're doing so on a record that proves the public was denied its statutory 5-day right to inspect this law. Let's follow the code of West Virginia. Do not ignore it for your inconvenience. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do support the public forum.
The last one is William Smith.
What's that? I wonder how many members of city council, can you hear me? I wonder how many members of city council recycle their trash. Why would someone who doesn't already recycle want to pay $4.50 to start sorting his trash? It's been too easy for him to just throw it all away. The mayor brags how recycling lowers the amount going to the landfill, and yet wants to reward those that throw it all away. Councilwoman McCool says she tried recycling for a week and was amazed at how much she was throwing in trash that should be recycled. Waste Management is getting ready to supply us with one big trash can, our limit. When I look down my street on trash pickup day, most households will overfill these cans every week. If they were to recycle the good stuff, they would have room for their trash with no overcharge. It's not that hard to recycle. According to the new numbers of 80-20%, there are approximately 2,400 recyclers in the city. At $4.50, it would generate about 11,000. If that same $4.50 was divided and charged for every trash customer, the charge would be less than $1. My proposal is to charge every customer $1 recycling fee. Still his choice to sort or not. This would generate a couple $1,000 left over, which could be used to enhance the recycle program in Parkersburg. I doubt that there would be as much opposition to my idea as there has been for yours. I have paid school taxes since I was 13 years old. I never complained. I am not married and have no children, so I get no benefit from this. When I turned 18 and could vote, I supported any school item that came on the ballot. Not because I had to, because it's the right thing to do. Well, so is recycling. Again, the best way is to charge everyone a small amount, and if they want to participate, they can. It's the right thing to do. The citizens that have attended these meetings, and all other citizens that recycle, have a certain passion for what they do. The ones that throw it all away could care less. I would say that those that don't recycle now will not start no matter what you decide. It would be nice if you took care of those that want to do good. If you have been listening to me, what I have said, I think you will see that I am right. So I urge you to charge everybody or charge nobody. I can't see how an extra dollar would hurt anyone and might help keep recycling in Parkersburg moving in the right direction. The mayor's suggestion of charging $4.50 to recycle is an insult to all those trying to do good. It would probably cripple the recycle program in Parkersburg. Thank you.
Thank you.
One more thing. For the bike trail, there's no seats down on the bike trail for senior citizens. It'd be nice to see something like that.
That's the last one, sir.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the next agenda item. We have a message from the executive. Mayor, do you have anything tonight?
Yeah, I've got a couple items. Excuse me. First, I think someone already passed out a hard copy of the budget to council. So, that being said, excuse me. I present to you this evening a structurally balanced fiscal year 27 budget crafted with identical policies and philosophies of the previous 9 budgets that I presented, using conservative forecasting and historical review to ensure recurring expenses do not exceed recurring revenues. This sound financial approach, including debt reduction, solid reserves, has allowed the city to mitigate the impact of volatility and navigate economic uncertainty. This budget proposes we continue to focus on core services, equipment, and projects essential to the community while aligning with fiscally prudent approach of growing the budget naturally with modest increases in payroll or personnel expenses, consistent investment in essential services, and conservative capital expenditures without incurring strategy of fiscal constraint and long-term planning has afforded the city of Parkersburg to be financially positioned in a manner that is enviable to many municipalities around West Virginia, including those with larger populations, higher median income, and a broader tax base. Our pension obligations continue to shrink annually, and we are again proposing an across-the-board cost of living adjustment for all non-elected personnel while maintaining substantial reserves. Since 2017, the city has improved its overall financial net position by nearly $74 million. This improvement is a result of the enforcement of policies that are both fiscally prudent, as I mentioned before, and I'm hopeful that council will be agreeable to continue austerity and maintaining the strong financial position for the foreseeable future. Before I get into some more specifics, I want to thank Eric for his efforts these past several weeks. He's once again compiled and crafted a structurally balanced budget within the time frame while simultaneously dealing with multiple distractions. And the audit's been going on during most of this process the last couple of months. So with regards to revenue, we're budgeting a fund balance estimated at $1,067,667. Total revenue estimated at $35 million, and this is all general fund, up $738,000 over the prior year, primarily resulting from increases in estimated B&O at $300,000 and sales tax at $200,000. We are not budgeting for a stabilization transfer this year. Increased expenditures, health insurance, PEIA is a 3% increase. Again, the aforementioned 4.2% pay increase for non-elected personnel, and also included in those budgetary figures, there are additional increases to bring all current personnel to a minimum of $15 an hour. That is ended up being 14 employees. Operating budgets are consistent with prior years. Notable transfers to the following funds: $963,000, $685,000 to capital reserve, $200,000 to the demolition fund for future demolitions, $175,000 to parks, pools fund for operating subsidy. Overall, general fund expenditures have increased $806,117. With regards to capital reserve, there's a business district beautification project in there at $25,000. Flood wall, there's some work with regards to stabilization of part of the levee, particularly underneath the Memorial Toll Bridge. $205,000 for new stormwater system construction and a piece of equipment. Parks and Rec, $245,000 to pave the city park and Veterans Memorial sidewalk. With regards to equipment, audio-visual upgrade to the council chambers, police cruisers, pretty much standing pat with four cruisers like we've done every year, including dash cams and all some other associated equipment. $80,000 for 4 self-contained breathing apparatus and replacement of the inspector vehicle. Parks and Rec, there's a couple different mowers on here. I think we'll talk more about those in budget, but we've been looking at a remote control slow mower for some of our steeper areas so the guys don't have to weed eat that stuff like we do normally. There's continued reserve for $600,000 for the next fire truck, $250,000 for a street sweeper, $50,000 for another dump truck, and then $300,000 in contingency. We're asking from the opioid settlement fund a total of $190,000 for youth prevention and education initiatives across the county, and the previously budgeted and awarded or appropriated funds for the Wood County Drug Crime Prosecutor. That's the shared cost across the city and the county. The Street Infrastructure Fund, you'll see a budget of $1.3 million for street improvements, and make no mistake, I'll put you on notice now, our intention is to ask council to appropriate 100% of the fiscal year carryover for fiscal year 26 to the Street Infrastructure Fund. We believe if we want to maintain the great gains we've had with our conditions of our streets, we need to keep up the pace as best we can. Estimated budget revenue of $2.7 million, revenue for refuse collection fees. That's the $19.50 a month. It's up for consideration this evening. $47,000
file and refer to committee of the whole with the date to be determined.
Mr. President,
Mr. Rexford,
move to receive and file.
Second.
we have a first and a second. Madam Clerk, roll call please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Council will get together here in the next day or two and schedule our committee of the whole to get started on our budget process and budget hearings. We're down to resolutions. Madam Clerk, could you read resolution number 1, please?
A resolution authorizing Mayor Tom Joyce to execute a lease agreement between the City of Parkersburg and Duke Bikes to operate a bicycle ride-share kiosk at Wolfter Memorial Plaza.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
Move for adoption of the resolution.
second.
We have first and second. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Rexford?
I'd just like to say it's really nice to have a positive thing on the agenda for once, and just to brag on Mr. Duke. I had him in school several years ago, and it's really nice to see a former student putting together something like this, and it's a really good thing. It's something that I'll go back to school and tell my current 6th graders about, and hopefully they can do something positive like this in the future as well. So thank you, Mr. Duke.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
I also would like to echo what Mr. Rexroad said. I was really excited whenever I saw that the bicycles was coming to Parkersburg. I do have one question. Do we need to repaint our bicycle routes, Mayor?
I have not given that any consideration. I think Mr. Duke's plan is for his bikes to be used in the downtown area, primarily now on the Port Trail. So,
Just on the trail?
well, I mean, you can take them anywhere. It's up to the police department. As long as you're riding in the right direction. But his business plan is to utilize them in the downtown footprint.
Thank you.
Mr. President,
Mr. McCready?
I also want to echo this on Mr. Guy. He's done a great job, Jackson. Congratulations and thank you. But if any of you people haven't been down to see that river trail or haven't walked it, it's 2.5-mile walk down up there almost to the mall. But it's a beautiful, beautiful walk. It's a great place to walk. It's blacktop all the way. And I hope everybody can get down and enjoy that. It's an absolutely great place to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCready. Anyone else? Hearing nothing else, can we get the vote, please, Connie?
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes, resolution passes. Madam Clerk, resolution number 2, please.
A resolution amending Rule 11 of City Council's Rules and Regulations relating to public forum and creating a council forum.
Mr. President,
Mr. Rexford.
move to adopt the resolution. Second.
We have a first and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Ms. Tuck?
I'm really glad that this is coming up for vote. And my question is, I realize that at the conclusion of every speaker, the council president, person presiding, may respond or designate somebody within the city government to respond. I would like to make sure that
Mr. Rexroad?
When I kind of started this process to draft this with Mr. Myers and input from several of you, it was never my intention that the response time eat into the public's time. I have no problem if we need to put that in writing, but I just want to make it clear it was never my intention to cut into the public's time when drafting this.
Yeah. I think that right there, excuse me, Mr. President, I think
Ms.
that
Cool.
right there was the whole idea of this, you know, just so we could respond to them, and it was not going to take away from the public's time. I just think that's a given. I mean, I don't think amendments necessary, because you're going to be keeping track of the time that the public does not speak or whoever answers, so we just add that onto the time, right? Okay.
Mr. President, let me, I would like to put it in writing. I think we have, I just like things to be as clear as possible. I'd like to suggest that, public forum shall allow 30 minutes for the public to speak. And just take out that shall be no more than, but just public forum shall allow 30 minutes for the public to speak. That would just clarify any ambiguity.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Rexroad?
the intention of it, I don't think it would hurt anything to have that, it's semantics, but to have that changed to protect it, that's what we intended anyway, so let's just go ahead and make the amendment, and that way it's in there.
You can look at it two ways. You have 30 minutes in length, 3 minutes for each speaker. So if you don't have 10 people signed up, you're never going to reach that threshold. If you have 10 people, you can use it based on the number of people signed up. But we do have a motion for an amendment and a second. Any other discussion? Madam Clerk, vote please.
Mr. McCready?
No.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
No. Amendment passes. So now we're back to the original motion to accept the resolution. Is there any other discussion on that? Hearing none, I'd just like to say typically, as the chair, I don't give as much input. We all want to hear from the public. As we know, there's 3 types of public forum: no public forum, agenda items only, or limited public forum, and open public forum. I believe wholeheartedly open public forum is the best form of public forum, but also only for the intentions of those getting up there. It's been my experience that it's been used for more for self-promotion and other reasons rather than for the good of the citizens. And we're here for criticism, constructive criticism, non-constructive criticism. But when we experience things that happen and it gets out of hand, I don't see that it benefits the community when it gets to that point. So we're here today. You all have asked for it. We've listened to you. We have it back on the agenda. I'd ask that we all be civil. You can criticize me all you want. You can be constructive or not constructive, but let's do it for the good of the community, look for positive rather than just to get up there and promote and be divisive and maybe push a narrative for individual benefit. That's all I got.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
this goes away with the public forum for agenda items only, correct? That's what, okay.
Mr. President?
Go ahead, Ms. Tuck.
I would just like to read a short paragraph from Mr. Myers that talks about the point of how to address city council. And he says, chairpersons of meetings have discouraged speakers from directly addressing individual members
speakers will be permitted to engage in criticism of public officials, including personally directed comments, so long as speakers abide by the time limitations and topic and do not otherwise engage in disruptive conduct. I think we can accept that as our legal guidance for this as well. And I do believe that we can be a voice for public participation. Not all of it's positive. I think a lot of it is and can be and has been. So I'm very much looking forward to supporting this return to public forum and also council forum. Thank you all.
Anybody else? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, the vote, please.
Mr. McCready,
Yes.
Ms. Cool,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
No.
Ms. Tuck. Yes. Mr. Huffman,
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski.
Yes, Resolution 2 passes. We're down to ordinance now. We have ordinance, agenda item 3. Will you read the ordinance for us, Madam Clerk?
An ordinance authorizing approval of the recycling program agreement between the City of Parkersburg and Rumpke of Ohio Incorporated, and directing the mayor to execute the agreement on behalf of the city.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Any discussion?
Point of order.
Go ahead.
Mr. President, just a few minutes ago, you remarked that there was going to be a public hearing separate from the public forum to allow people an opportunity to question and get answers about this.
We had a motion, a second. I should have, before discussion, said we're going to have a public hearing. Public hearing is for,
Point of order.
Point of
The
order.
public hearing's on the rate ordinance, not
Right,
the
it's not on
recycling
that.
contract.
thank you. We're down to the Rumpke contract. The public hearing is after number 4. Thank you all.
The public hearing is on number 4.
Correct. So we have discussion on item number 3. We have a motion, a second. Discussion on item number 3. Anybody have anything else to add on item number 3?
Just clarification, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
So the public hearing, we don't have to have a public hearing on the ordinance, for the contract, but we do have to have one to change
Rates.
the ordinances. Okay, just wanted to clarify, the articles, right? Pardon? No, second.
It's going to be for item number 4 on our agenda. We're on item number 3. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion, questions, or comments on item number 3? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, the vote, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck? No. Mr. Huffman?
No.
Mr. Rexroad?
No.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Ordinance on final reading passes. We're down to item number 4 on the agenda. Madam Clerk, would you read that for us, please?
An ordinance amending and reenacting Article 955.
I believe we need a motion, a second, then we'll have the public hearing.
Yes.
Is that correct? So we need, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance, or item number 4 on final reading?
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
move for adoption of the ordinance.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. We are now down to the public hearing, a much anticipated public hearing, obviously. We're going to open for public hearing. This is for people to voice either for or against. It's not a back and forth or opportunity for questions, and public hearing is now open. If you wish to speak for or against, please come to the podium.
If you decide for a motion to postpone, to allow yourselves time to hear from the people who are gathering petitions, you know it's there. You know it's pending. Save yourselves the headache. Don't be stubborn. Admit you lost. work to find a resolution that works for the long-term benefit of our community. We're not enemies here. Don't consider it capitulation. Consider it cooperation. Thank you.
I just have one item. Since I gave this formal notice, can I get the signed copy of it, please?
I don't have, what, are you looking at me?
Whoever needs to sign it. I wasn't looking at you. This is the original? You can have the original since it has the I'll give you this one so you can sign it, please.
Is that all right, Mr. Myers? You want to sign this?
I don't see any harm in signing.
No, it's just a receipt.
Mr. Vanoy, were you gonna speak as well?
No, I'm done.
Okay. And anybody else would like to speak, come on up.
Thank you.
I've been watching city council proceedings since 2017. Been to more council meetings than some of the councilors who've been elected to office. This is the first time I've seen so much public opinion all on one side of an issue. This is the first time I've seen a serious petition effort launched and carried out. I think you're doing a great disservice to the city of Parkersburg and to your employees, your city employees who have served in the sanitation department. I think, and I don't know if this is the correct procedure, I'm sure Mr. Myers can tell you. I think it would be wise to table it until you see what happens with the petition this Friday. Then proceed after you've had a chance to take into account what the citizens want. I hope this makes it on the ballot. I'm not sure what happens if you all pass this tonight and the petition succeeds. I think it'll just be a mess that you all will have to deal with. That's all I have to say. I have never seen the city come together, the citizens come together so strongly on one issue. And I would hope that you could postpone a decision until the citizens have a chance to see if they can weigh in on it on the ballot. Thank you.
Thank you.
I only have a short thing to say. I never got involved. I stayed away with this sanitation thing, but I did finally decide I'm gonna go and talk to the people since I was talking to them before when I was doing other things. And I went back to the district I was trying to talk to, and every single person, I had no one, every single person said, I'll sign it. Every single one. Nobody. I mean, I didn't even have to say a word. I said sanitation, like, give it to me. I mean, they don't want this change. I'm serious. I walked through the whole district, and I got no one say no. No one said no. Y'all should think about that later. No one. Go drive down the street and look at the trash cans that are sitting out for tomorrow, and think about what's gonna be left over when the waste management says, well, we're not picking up that, we're not gonna pick up that, and then it blows all over town. It's gonna be awful, terrible. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
So I just want to echo again, as I did at the beginning, I think amending Article 955, as many speakers have said, is premature. Article 955.03, subsection A, general provisions reads, solid waste collection and removal services for all residential units within the city limits shall be provided by the city and only in the manner and the extent provided in this article. Such collection, removal, and disposal of solid waste shall be performed performed by the Sanitation Division of the Department of Public Works. If you amend and reenact Article 955 tonight, you are replacing that language with language about a contract with Waste Management. That's what's on the table. If the petition is successful and makes it to the ballot without challenge, then, and people vote as it's pretty clear that they're going to vote, then the rescission of that ordinance, or the repeal of that ordinance to award a contract to Waste Management, makes that language essentially null. It would have to be amended again, separately, an additional ordinance, as I understand it, to include language that either, I don't know, it wouldn't be about awarding another contract. I think at this point it would default to what other municipalities in Wood County do, selecting a hauler privately for themselves and having a contract with them. But if you don't amend this language tonight, then the language I just read remains in place, and the responsibility and the onus remains with the city, which I think, until this rescission ordinance, or excuse me, this rescission initiative to get on the ballot is completed Friday at 4:30 p.m. at the latest, is premature. So I encourage you to at least table this and consider this later, as numerous speakers have said. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, for your time, you know why I've been here. I think it's totally wrong that you individually charge me to recycle and let everybody else throw it all away without a care. You got a hole out on Route 50 getting dumped full of garbage, and if you recycle, it would be down to about 20% of what's going out there. The rest of it would be used, recycled, again and again and again. To charge me is wrong. Charge everybody and take care of the problem. Pick up my recycling just the way you have been. But to charge me instead of everybody is wrong. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
I lived in Indiana for a couple of years, and we had waste management in Indiana, and we hated it. So anytime we try to call them, we'd be on hold for 30 minutes just to get a hold of somebody that's in Georgia that doesn't really care, doesn't really want anything to do with us. Like, we would call asking about furniture items being picked up. They'd say, well, it's an extra charge. And I mean, if you look down 7th Street, or what's the really ghetto, or Lynn Street. If you look down Lynn Street, there's already trash piled up. And these people aren't gonna pay the bills. They don't pay the bills now. So it's just, it'll be really disgusting. That's all.
Thank you. Anybody else for the public hearing?
Like many other people have said tonight, not to postpone this vote seems ridiculous. Because if you accept the ordinance, the contract is signed, and then the petition is successful, and there's a public outcry against it, you'll just have to undo everything. So it seems sensible to postpone the vote. My personal feelings about this are not really even part of this. It's what's a sensible thing to do. Postpone the vote on the ordinance until after the petition. If the petition is not successful, hey, then at the next meeting, you do the ordinance.
Thank you. Anybody else for the public hearing? Hearing none, we're going to close the public hearing. Okay, we've had a public hearing, we've had a first and a second, so I'll open it up to council for any comments, questions, or discussion.
Mr. President.
Ms. Cool.
The petition
certify those. In the meantime, we need trash service. Whether or not we have to repeal this or not, you know, whether or not it's gonna go through or not, we have to have trash service. We do not have the guys, we do not have the manpower to do that. We have 5. 2 is retiring. We have what, 4? We have 4. I'm sorry. We have 4. 1 is retiring, 2 is already taking a job within the city, and the other one's leaving and going to work somewhere else. So we don't have the manpower to run a trash service. We have to have a trash service. Wrong or right, we have to have a trash service. That's state law. So I am for passing this tonight. If things happen that we have to repeal it, or if the signatures are certified, we'll deal with that. But we don't know how long it's going to take. He's supposed to only have 20 days. I don't know that they can do that. I don't know they can get it certified in 20 days. However, we have to have a trash service. We have no employees to run the trash service. I'm done.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything? Any questions or comments?
Mr. President.
Go ahead, Mr. Director.
I have a quick question, more to the timeline. When is Waste Management going to be ready to take over? Like, is this 20 days?
So originally, prior to the delays with regards to the Public Service Commission and some of those things, it was April. But once the Public Service Commission approves their contract, I don't want to say for sure, but it'll be sometime this spring. I want to be clear on this. The only reason the trash is getting collected currently in the manner it is, and I've said it many times, we continue to bring multiple employees over from the street cleaning and or parks departments, which has not been a huge deal until we got 8 inches of snow and ice for 7 days. Every one of you almost, maybe not every one of you, you've already started with, we're gonna get this done, we're gonna do this sidewalk this year, we're gonna do this. So this is, I think the message that I wanna be clear to the public and to you all is, a couple of things. Number one, Article 955 needs amended regardless. Council approved the contract with Waste Management, I don't know, in January, a month ago, give or take. So that piece, again, referendum and everything else, I think we'll see what happens if we have to adjust. But what I'm not comfortable with at all, and I'm sure there'll be folks all over and say, oh, he's threatening. These guys have got to go back to their regular jobs at some point. I mean, I think I sent you all a note and put it out to the public. Everett's guys patched 187 potholes in 8 days. We were behind in one particular council district with a bad hill, and come to find out, the person who normally does that salt and plow truck was picking up trash yesterday. So, at some point, to Ms. Cool's point, we have to get the trash collected. Right now, we're using sanitation funds to pay the overtime component, but this is not
bad shape here. You know, as Ms. Cool said, it'll take a while to certify. If we table this until the second, week in March, we're still taking a trash anyway. So I don't see why it would be a big deal to table this.
I don't see why it would be a big deal not to table it, quite frankly.
Well, I'm seeing if it does pass and we've got that's just doing extra work. I mean, why wouldn't we table it? And, I mean, 2 meetings from now, it's not any different than what we're doing now. We're still gonna have to pick up the trash until waste management's ready, so I would make,
Well, I guess, let me, you make an amendment. I am categorically opposed to any more delays. This thing, like I said, we've been at it for 14 or 15 months at this point. But at some point, and this I believe is the administration's discretion, I've got to make a decision as we're not going to continue doing it this way. And there are emergency provisions. I think this does fall under. I don't want anybody to think I'm threatening them. I'm not. But if you think we're going to have the Public Works Department, other guys out there all summer, then none of you are allowed to call or text me about a problem on the street in your districts. Because I'm not going to, we don't have the manpower for that as it is now. So,
well, you still need to be ready by spring, so.
well, well, again, not knowing what the referendum does is what I'm saying. So I just encourage council to quit, quite frankly, succumbing to pressures.
Ma'am, chambers be in order. Mayor has the floor.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and make an amendment to table this until the second meeting in March. I don't think.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. Madam Clerk, we have an amendment to table. Roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
No.
Ms. Cool?
No.
Mr. Brown?
No.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
No.
Mr. Borkowski?
No, the amendment fails. We're back to the original motion. We have a first and a second. Any other discussion on that? I'd just like to add, I know we've heard a lot about trash piling up and all these cans and who's gonna pick up that. Any hauler, whether it be waste management or any other else, is required to pick up anything but solid waste. I'd proffer for anybody in this room to go to any town that allows unlimited trash. I'd challenge you.
I'll take that challenge.
I'm from Louisiana and they do that. And New York does it too.
Perfect. So with that said, extra trash, whatever, the model we have and have had for the longest time is we tax everybody so some can have excess trash. What I'm saying is that we, and I believe, the most appropriate model moving forward, just because we've always done something, don't let good be the enemy of best, does that mean it's the best in the future? So the model that is here, that is wildly successful in most other places, is that you pay for the service that you require. It's not that trash is going to get piled up. It's just people pay for the service that they require. And everybody talks about landfill. We got to say landfill. Well, what are we doing when we allow whatever comes in trash from outside our city to be dumped into our city because they know, hey, you just put it on Joey's curb, they'll come pick it up. So I am 100% for this. I urge passage. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, the roll call, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
No.
Mr. Huffman?
No.
Mr. Rexroad?
No.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes. Ordinance on final reading passes. We're going to be down to item number 5 on your agenda. Madam Clerk, would you read that ordinance, please?
It is an ordinance amending Part 1, Chapter 7, Article 12 of the Codified Ordinances to address membership composition in the Parkersburg Tree Commission.
Mr. President,
Ms. Cool.
move for adoption of the ordinance.
We have a first and 2 seconds. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk? the
Mr.
vote, please.
McGrady?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
Yes. Ordinance on final reading passes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
May I have a second?
Mr. President,
We have a motion second. Ms. Cool?
I just want to say URA will be starting here in about 7 minutes.
We'll adjourn. URA will start in about 6 minutes.
I'll reach out to you hopefully within the next week, but I just wanted to, make contact.
We're gonna get Tokyo, but we're too late.
That's like
I'm going further than the trash.
Mr. McCready? Mr. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Poole? Ms. Tuck?
Here.
Mr. Huffman?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds? Mr. Rexroad?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Mr. Bukowski?
Here.
And now Ms. Poole.
And I meant to say, roll call, I apologize, I'm here, I think. URA members, you have the meeting minutes from January 27th. Is there any changes or additions?
Motion to approve minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Connie, the roll, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck?
Yes.
Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Bukowski?
Yes.
Ms. Poole?
Yes. Go on to the planning division report. Kayla?
I didn't prepare a planning division report for you today because most of what we're discussing is kind of part of what I've been working on.
Did you say no report?
No report.
Thank you. We're going to do business. Connie, under A,
A designation of a planning focus redevelopment area.
URA members, I'm going to ask that Andy Nestor, our code enforcement director, come forward and explain this one.
Yeah, hello. Me and Ryan he briefed me on this at the end of the day today, but I think we've discussed this previously. I'm not sure if Mr. Moore was here, but I think everybody else was here, that the part of the URA and part of the definition of the URA is kind of have a focused area, not a target area. It's a focused area for redevelopment. So if you look at the way we kind of work it now, the focused area is the boundaries of the city, because we're kind of all over the place. So what this would do would be the board would come up together and come with a focused area for us to concentrate on for redevelopment. And that doesn't mean demos, that doesn't mean buying people out, done all that, but of course all that will be an aspect of it, but also to educate anybody in that area on the programs that we have through the development department for rehab, anything like that. So it's not a city takeover of a designated area. It would be a focused area for everybody in the development department and the code department and anybody else that would be, part of that program, to kind of focus our efforts on to reconstruct, rebuild, redevelop a certain area. And then once we get that up, then we move to a different area. So I think if you guys, I think we've all had discussions with everybody about this, is we need a designated area to kind of focus on. And that would be for the board to determine. There's a couple proposed areas that we're kind of concentrating on or have been concentrating on, being the 7th Street corridor. I've always said that the entrance into our cities, whether it be Staunton Avenue, Emerson Avenue, 7th Street corridor, that's what everybody sees when they come into our city. So I think that's where the designated area should start, but again, that's up to the board. So that's exactly what this is, a designated area.
Okay, at the last URA meeting, we kind of did a designated area. I think tonight we're going to take a vote on it. But we talked about the 7th Street corridor coming into our city.
Yeah,
That
I
to,
think Ryan gave
for
me
develop,
two examples, so I don't know if you're asking me for my opinion or you guys just take a vote and you tell me what it is.
well, I wanted your opinion.
Well, I think we're making big strides on the 7th Street corridor, and I think we got a little momentum going there, and I hate to walk away from that and then have to come back to it later, but I think you guys are going to have some stuff on the agenda for some future meetings. So it'd be my suggestion just to keep in that area on that 7th Street corridor. I think all of us can agree that it needs a little bit more work. It's getting better daily, but there's a lot of
there's a whole lot of stuff in there about the difference between the Mary Street and the Seventh Street corridor. So is this just the Seventh Street corridor, or is this
That's what the motion is,
just the
or just the Seventh Street
Okay.
corridor.
And we did a lengthy discussion at the last URA meeting.
About the Seventh Street corridor.
Correct. So I just wanted to make sure this is, we're just.
Just the
about-
7th
just
Street
to
corridor.
accept this, okay.
Yes. Any other discussion? Connie, the vote, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck? Yes. Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Polkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes. Item B.
B is itemized environmental findings and cost estimates for 714 Market Street.
This is rather lengthy between Kayla and Ryan. There's a lot to go over about 714 Market Street. So I don't know who you want to start with first. Kayla?
Hello. Yeah, I wanted to preface this as well, just to let you know that the goal of this staff report is definitely to inform you guys of the environmental findings, as well as just some research that we have been doing, and we intend to pursue a grant to help with this, with some assistance for these costs. So the past few months, really, after we got the environmental reports back, we've been really considering what this all means, and so I don't want you to look at these numbers and think that they're absolutely 100% set in stone. This is me, who is not necessarily the biggest expert, but a really good, use of being able to find what like the average cost in a county might be. And we had the FCNA done, which also outlined what the cost for a full abatement is, and the estimate I came up with was very close to what they also provided from Pickering. So they're just about probably what you guys would be looking into. And so with this large, considerable cost, the EPA does offer a grant every year. It's an EPA brownfield cleanup grant where we can request, a substantial amount of money to help with these environmental costs. There are some considerations to this grant that, we can handle, just in the development office, but one of the things that I have researched, it should take care of our lead, our asbestos, anything of that nature. That's, in their clarification of those environmental hazards. So I'm just bringing this to you tonight to make sure you understand the site conditions that exist, let you know that we plan to pursue the cleanup grant, and just explain at a high level what the grant, is. At this stage, we're not really wanting you guys to choose a construction plan tonight. Just wanting to make sure you have the facts, realistic cost ranges, and we can make a good decision moving forward. If you guys would like to have your eyes on the full environmental summaries, they're really large. So just ask, and you can come visit me in my office. I have them if you would like to look.
Okay. Ryan? No, Andy? One of you.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate what Clay said. You've done a lot of work kind of studying the building, and we want to just to remind the URA of this building, the fact that you do own a 70,000 square foot property. It's sitting vacant. This is the third winter that it's sitting vacant. Some of these environmental contaminants aren't going away. We will need to mitigate these at some point. And again, just putting it out there that these, with the square footage of the building, some of the figures to mitigate this is quite substantial. So we're continuing to identify that, understand the building, and how we can address some of these issues, whether through the URA or through other grant sources. So it's something that we're still actively aware of and researching. And like Clay always said if there are federal funds out there, we're gonna do everything we can to secure that. So of course, you have the opportunity tonight or in the near future to allocate resources to help mitigate some of these concerns. We can table that to the future and pursue federal funds. But just reminding you all, on the building and the fact that we are working and doing everything we can to stabilize the condition of the building if a private developer doesn't come along. Because these are all things obviously they're concerned about as well. You know, these are things that, you know, whether the URA owns it or a private entity owns it, they're gonna have to be mitigated regardless. So just put it out there and let you guys know, keep it in the forefront.
Okay, Ryan, would like for you to bring URA members up to the discussion that Zach and I had with you. Number one, you can't apply for a grant for this.
Yeah, we'll pursue a grant through the EPA, brownfield mitigation, brownfield cleanup grant.
Okay. And that grant has to be submitted by
September. September. And again, not to lead any beyond, but they're incredibly competitive, challenging. It's going to take significant man hours to put forth an application, but we'll start now to put that together.
Okay, and the roof of 714 Market Street is okay for now, correct? It's not leaking, it's not, am I right? Is that what we discussed?
Yeah, so based on our needs assessment of the building, the building is beyond its useful life. It needs to be replaced, but it's dry currently. It's not actively leaking.
Okay, and I just want to throw this out for URA members so that they have time to think about it. It's a 70,000 square foot building. The problem, and correct me anytime through it, the problem that we're having getting someone other than what we see right here, the mold, stuff that we have to mitigate, is the fact that it's too big. Businesses, it would take a large business. I mean, Blue Cross and Blue Shield had that building, okay? It would take a large business to come in, and we're not seeing that for downtown. So after discussion with Brian, I said, okay, one of the problems is parking, and it's too big. Can we cut the building down? Could we remove, and this is gonna tell how old I am because you guys probably don't remember. It's a GC Murphy building, okay? And when you enter off of 7th Street, that entrance, that whole part can be removed. We can demo that. And we'd have to build a wall, fill in the wall. But URA could vote to demo that part of it. Then we could use that part for parking. It would be parking for whoever whoever decided to go into that building. We'll have the demo cost to come, okay? But it's something that I really think we, as URA, should consider to cut the cost of how much it's gonna cost to fix this building. And a 70,000 square foot building, and obviously no one wants to buy, rent a 70,000 square foot building. And parking was the big thing. So we could allow them, you could chime in, you were there too. They can have parking space if we remove that back side of the building. Something I'm just throwing after you guys, because it's gonna come up. You know, we're gonna have to decide, what are we gonna do with this building? We can't let it sit there, it's too nice of a building. And the great thing about it, the part that would be left, and I spoke to Ryan about this, the part that is left, it's got an elevator in it, but it also has an upstairs where someone could put apartments in. That's where they were gonna put apartments. That would not be taken away. They would still be able to utilize a business downstairs and have moved into that building because they're out of space. They've been out of space since 2003. If we just gave, they would only need half of it. Like I'm talking about, we demoed just one side of it. So, Chief kind of liked that idea, but
I think that would be a great idea for the
it'd be
police.
downtown Parkersburg.
Police shouldn't be all in this one building. That should not be the way it is.
It would be downtown Parkersburg.
Yep.
The parking would be available, and we would maintain ownership of the building. Of course, and then we could apply for more grants because making it into a police department.
Yes.
Lady here.
Yeah, we can.
I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry.
can I ask Brian a question?
Oh, sure.
Has anybody ever considered filling that whole base out with flow fill?
Yes, it's been considered.
Pardon me?
Yes.
That'd be the best thing to do, fill it level on the floor with flow fill. Then you seal it off the bottom where a lot of have they also encapsulate everything that's down there, the mold and stuff. We have that encapsulated. And that you can do it that way.
Yeah, I think some of the major building systems are in the basement. You know,
You may have to move the HVA and AC, some of that stuff up, but it's gonna be a lot cheaper. We're just trying to get rid of all this.
we've seen lots of interesting, unique proposals with the building. Kalea, Andy, myself, we've probably given a dozen tours of the building. Some similar themes come up after it. You know, the sheer size is generally too much for somebody to bite off.
Absolutely.
The cost to redevelop it is substantial, and a lack of on-site parking has been an obstacle for some folks.
Sure.
But everything the school has talked about, that addresses some of those potential concerns.
Have you ever looked at the cost of what fill would cost you to fill it up?
That would need, engineers and folks outside of my lane to.
That wouldn't take very much, just bigger volume. Smith Concrete can tell you how much they would charge us to do that volume wise. That would be fairly easy to compare.
Madam Chair.
Mr. Rattray.
I think with this building, we're gonna have to put money into it one way or the other, because right now, we can
You're
give
right.
it away.
You're right.
I think the determining factor here is how much money we're willing to put in. What was it, last year we had Pickering do an assessment of the building, and it was millions, just to make, not to make it nice, just to make it,
It was $3 million.
yeah. I don't know where that money's gonna come from to do these things we're talking about. I mean, I'm sure there's grants and
Grants.
things, but that's an awful lot of money, plus that's just to make it compliant, that's not to remodel, that's not to make it livable, that's just code compliant. I think it's an absurd amount of money.
You're right. It is a lot of money. But you need to think about, if we demo that whole building, which if we don't put money into it, that's what it's gonna come down to. And then,
Did we ever get an estimate on what it would cost to demo the entire thing? I'm sure it would be.
The entire structure now.
no. We're gonna have it next year, the half of it.
What was,
We don't have it. Won't be till the next meeting for half of it. Either way, we're gonna have to put money into that building if we wanna save it. And it's not gonna be cheap. We can go the grant route, what grants are available, but just like Ryan said, the grants are highly competitive. We may not get them. So we need to decide as URA, once we have all of the cost of what it's gonna do, what do we wanna do with the building?
I agree, and I would definitely want to see if we could get the brownfield grant before we would make any decisions.
Right, absolutely. Mr. Burkowski?
Madam Chair,
Yes?
obviously this is a large space, lots of dollars to
we had the bonding, you know, they got the bonds for it. We can't do that. And I would really hate to see this piece of property go by the wayside. I mean, it's beautiful, it's a part of downtown. I don't wanna lose that tooth out of Market Street. You know, we're supposed to be building Market Street up. I think the right person, it would be a valuable asset. Am I correct, Ryan? And so, something to think about, because this is gonna come up very serious. This is something really, 7th Street corridor we can handle, okay? URA can handle. We can't handle this. I'll be the first to admit it, we can't. We don't have the knowledge, we don't have the expertise. So we'll get the figures, and then this is gonna be on the agenda for the next time, am I correct? Colette, will you have?
What are you asking for specifically?
I did not have, planned, and the URA ad just was uploaded today for March
Okay,
already.
but when we were in the meeting, we talked about demo, and we was gonna get a price for the demo.
You had mentioned it, but I believe that we said we were gonna wait. To get a cost for that demo is gonna take us some time. You know, based off of the environmental factors alone, those all would still need to be remediated prior to a demolition, and then a demolition might make us not able to get other things. So there's a lot of planning to that decision before it comes to you guys.
Okay, can I get
It
a,
would take some engineering analysis.
Right.
It would take a
Structural
lot.
analysis, how to reconfigure the exterior wall to remain. I'd rather a vote from the URA.
okay, I'm getting ready. Can, I get a motion to have development to move forward with what we've talked about here, present it back to URA with cost, and then we can go from there.
Madam Chair, to clarify, you're asking for a vote to authorize them to look into it and come back with a price?
Right.
Okay, we're not voting to approve.
Absolutely
anything,
not.
just to
We-
come back with an estimate.
We're not ready to approve anything.
Ryan, I know it said radon too. You got any handle on that?
On radon?
It's low, or like, there is no rating that's significant to where it needs remediated. The only time we would have to get retested is if we did do a demolition or a significant, movement of the ground.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Madam Chair, motion as such to move forward with the assessment.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Connie, the vote, please.
Mr. McCready?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Tuck? Yes. Mr. Huffman?
Yes.
Mr. Rexroad?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Borkowski?
Yes.
Ms. Cool?
Yes.